Hey guys, what's going on? I'm actually coming back really quickly compared to the videos I just did because I have something very exciting. This video is actually occurring probably a good several days, a week before you see it. But I want to get out the previous videos I already did. In the meantime, I have something very exciting. I had a better than usual mail day. Everything in the holidays got kind of caught up at the same time. The mail wasn't running. I wasn't able to check it. And when it finally did arrive, I got a lot of exciting things. Some things I was expecting. Some things I'd been waiting on for more than 6 months. So to me, this was a perfect opportunity to show you guys some exciting things. And it is a variety of different kinds of fun things. Let's go ahead and get into it. First one I'll show is this. Right after the holidays, I noticed this was on sale. This is one of those things where I had kind of hoped that I was going to get this for Christmas, and I didn't. No big deal. I didn't really care. And then once I saw it was on sale, I thought, you know what, I'm going to get it for myself. I had a little bit of Christmas money, and this is one of those things where I think later it might be a lot harder to find. Right now, there's just a lot of them out there. Wrapped here. I'm going to get some wrapping off of it. And this is what it is. I was really excited. This is the one that I saw come out this year that I was most pumped about. This is my favorite in the Star Wars trilogy, Empire Strikes Back. So anything Empire Strikes Back related is always the things that I look forward to the most, Star Wars related. And this is Han Solo to the rescue. Sometimes you get them in these. Sometimes they're in bubble wrap. Sometimes they're laid in like a little plastic shelf. It's really hard to say which one you're ever going to get. This one's got 2 layers of like tissue paper wrapping it. This is what it looks like. Very, very cool. Always has a place for the batteries underneath, but it always includes the batteries separately, which is what this is there. They're like little watch or hearing aid batteries. And if you don't mess with these very much, I've found that the batteries last a really long time. I got a Star Trek ornament maybe 3 or 4 years ago that has been up on the shelf the whole time, still works flawlessly. It's actually been messed with quite a bit. There's been several times somebody's asked what it does, and I've walked over and hit it or whatever. It never fails, so these batteries do hold up a very long time. It's the only part that really stinks is that these do have a place where you have to have a small screwdriver to open it. I wish it just had a push button. This is what it looks like inside there. It does have a base to stand on, which is nice, and it is permanently attached there. And the Tauntaun has great detail on it. Han Solo actually looks pretty good too. The actual paint job they did on these is amazing. So let's go ahead and give it a listen.
Sir, Commander Skywalker hasn't come in the south entrance. He might have forgotten to check in. Not likely. Are the speeders ready? Not yet. We're having some trouble adapting them to the code. We'll have to go out on Tauntaun.
Nice. Let's see if we can get one with the Tauntaun sound.
Sir, the temperature's dropping too rapidly. That's right. My friend's out in it.
Oh, see you in hell, maybe.
Tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. Then I'll see you in hell.
Nice. Hallmark said hell.
Sir, Commander Skywalker hasn't come in the south entrance. He might have forgotten to check in. Not likely. Are the speeders ready? Not yet. We're having some trouble adapting them to the code. We'll have to go out on Tauntaun.
As you can see, those are the 3 sound effects. I came back around through it. I would have liked to have heard a Tauntaun sound. That would have been nice, but otherwise that is very cool. One of my favorite ornaments now. I'm glad that they're doing more and more of these electronic ones with a lot of cool features like that. For you guys that want to see the box again, it looks like that. Cool addition to my Hallmark Christmas ornaments in this sci-fi genre. Okay, the next thing I've got here is something I'm pretty sure this is what it's going to be. Ever since a buddy of mine saw it on television and then we were able to track it down online. I'm a big fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the NBA team, and somebody had worn this to a game, and it looked so funny because it just hadn't occurred to me then that I was like, that's awesome. I'm getting one of those. If I go to a game this year, I am wearing it. I went to 2 games last year. It would have been a really cool thing. So let's go ahead and open this up. Okay. You can see there, it's pretty hollow inside. A couple of airbag things. And then here it is. You can kind of see that it's a bluish colored thing. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and I will unveil it. I don't want to spoil it. So let's get it out here. And there it is. Thunder Buddies for life. And it has Ted on there. To me, this is about the coolest t-shirt. I mean, it's a cool t-shirt, but if you're a Thunder fan and you wear this to the game, I mean, that is also like double cool. So this is awesome. Not too bad. I think like it was under 20 bucks, including shipping and everything. So I'm ecstatic, and I hope I get an opportunity to go to a game sometime this year, and I'm going to wear that. And a friend of mine and one of his other friends ended up getting that too, so that'd be kind of cool just to see a whole lot of people wearing that shirt at the games. That's hilarious. Okay, the next one I'm going to open up here is one that I'm kind of excited about. I hope they kind of sent it in a small box, considering I think it didn't feel like it has very much padding in it. This is a collection I already had, but I decided in order to save space, I got rid of my old one, and I had opted to get this newer version. I thought it was cool, and then, you know, of course, if you can save a whole lot of space on the shelf, that's nice also. This one actually arrived very fast, considering I just paid for the standard, you know, kind of cheap shipping. Oh, it's actually got really good padding. It just didn't feel like it. A lot of those airbag things in there. And there's seat. Unfortunately, they squeezed this kind of in the corner, so it only has padding on like 2 of the sides. That I'm not very fond of. I would prefer to have something centered. When I mail things, I always try to center it and give it padding on all sides, because if it takes a hit, it is damaged. And here it is, the big unveil. It is the new 30th anniversary commemorative Masters of the Universe collection. I don't know if you guys knew it. Plant Beer Wagon and I often talk about Masters of the Universe. I love it. I grew up on it when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite things. And I actually enjoy the 2002, I think is when it came out, cartoon series even better than the original one. The original one is great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm nostalgic for it. But it's not quite as serious. It didn't try to appeal to an older audience like the newer version did about 10 years ago. And I think that series did a great job of rekindling my interest into Masters of the Universe. But I want to show what it looks like there. And it is like a 3D relief, as you can kind of see maybe through that hole there. But Castle Grayskull on the front. This includes the entire classic series, 130 episodes, which ran from 1983 to 1985. This also includes He-Man and the Masters Universe, 39 episodes from the 2002 through 2004 series, and the best of top 20 fan favorites of the New Adventures of He-Man. Personally, I'm not a humongous fan of New Adventures of He-Man. To me, it's not the same. That's the best way to put it. It's okay, but it's not something where I'm just like, yeah, I need that. So if it saved me an extra 20 bucks or whatever for them to not include it on this release, you know, then I think it was well worth it for them to just, you know, do that. Do the best of. People who have any more interest beyond that, let them seek out, you know, the older release of that for themselves. So let's take it out of the box, because I think you guys can see it a little better without all that reflection. I think that looks really cool. It's kind of a hard box, but it's limited edition also. I don't know if I mentioned that, but has the limited edition number there. This is number 9,061 of 15,000. So we're already getting towards the end of this print run. I saw a lot of people post ones like under 100 and things like that. So maybe I jumped on it just in time, because I kind of have a feeling if there's very many of these fans that are going to enjoy this series, 15,000 could go pretty quick. Here's what the inside looks like. There's like a CD tray looking thing here. Here's actually a sword that was issued by Mattel. Of course, Mattel owns the rights to Masters of the Universe anyway. It's kind of a cool sword where it's like yellow and gold. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be all gold, but it's actually yellow and gold. It's kind of hard to see there. there is the, this is the soundtrack. Here's a booklet, which is cool. This here is very compact. These are all in their own little individual envelopes. It's very Mill Creek. Mill Creek loves like paper envelopes. It always ends up protecting them fairly well. I mean, things could be a lot worse. On the other hand, this thing is surprisingly well made compared to the paper envelopes and everything. It has kind of a felt finish on the inside. It's kind of hard. It's got this separate little section here for that sword. It's so dark you may not be able to pick it up very well, but there is a center section here. Some artwork there up in the top. It closes like so. Looks like this on the shelf with that on the back. Awesome. I am really excited. I didn't want to have to let go of my old ones because they actually look really cool too. It took up a substantial amount of shelf space. If you bought those and you bought the She-Ra and the New Adventures of He-Man and everything, didn't even include the 2002 series, just the old ones. It was like 2 foot wide, something like that. It was insane because it ended up being, I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe like 8 box sets. Something insanely crazy like that. And when I say 8 box sets, I mean 8 box sets that are almost as big as this one. They're not quite this big. They're probably 2/3 of this thickness. But when you put 8 of those back to back to back, you can tell that it would take up a lot more space. Of course, I was also including the She-Ra collection, which this does not include. I'm perfectly fine with that too. I like the bad guys on She-Ra because I grew up being a big fan of the Horde, which the Horde with Hordak and everything was in the He-Man toy line, but it was the villains, or I'd say it's a large portion of the villains, not all the villains, from the She-Ra cartoon. So it's kind of odd. It's like one of those things where it's a mixed match. I often thought of that a lot when I was a kid, and my cousin, she would come over with her She-Ra, and she was always like, I want to play with your Hordak, and I want to play with your Leech and your Grizzlord. And I was like, why? And she was like, those are the bad guys from my cartoon. And I didn't get it. I thought that was bizarre, and I still kind of do. But that's the cookie. Now it crumbles. Here's the Masters Universe 30th Anniversary Collection, commemorative collection. Really, really cool. Have one more thing to open up. This one, I'll try to see if I can. You might not be able to make it up there. I got this a long time ago, like to the point where I'd almost forgot about it. I was very concerned that I just didn't know what was going to happen with it, but I didn't even know what this was. That's how long it had been. I saw the return address, and that's how I figured it out. As many of you know, I put up a video not too long ago, maybe during the summer, that last February I went to a thing called the Sci-Fi Expo. The Sci-Fi Expo is a local sci-fi convention that's in my area that's pretty good. It has a lot of major stars there from TV and movies just randomly. It's kind of different each time, and this last time they had Eliza Dushku, and for my birthday I went. I made a video about it. You can always look up the 2012 Sci-Fi Expo. And I'm a real big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, all the Joss Whedon stuff. And when I got a chance to meet Eliza Dushku, I went. I was ecstatic. There was also the people from Firefly there, and Serenity, you know, all that Joss Whedon stuff. So when I went there, I stood in several lines to get both her autograph and to get my picture taken with her. And it was just a cool thing. Right after that, I got an update, after I started following some of her stuff, that she was putting together a documentary about Albania. And I joined her Kickstarter thing and helped support it. And it's still kind of on its way. I'm not for sure if I end up getting a DVD or not. It depends on their pledge levels or whatever you get. But the thing I got, and I opened it up here, and this is what was inside. First of all, I'm just now seeing this, and I didn't know what it was. It is a recipe. I don't really want to show it there because I don't know how protective she is about things like this, because it was like, I guess, part of the pledge or whatever. I cannot even really pronounce this. It is from her family, and it is written in a different language, the actual title of the thing, but it is a recipe for this thing, and it has feta cheese in it. I think it's some kind of Greek recipe. It is BYREK Squipe with the double dot over it, TAR. I apologize to any of my Greek viewers if you know what that is and you're just sitting there scratching your heads while I'm so stupid. I am stupid of things like that, so I'll just say that it's a recipe for that, signed by Eliza Dushku. Very cool. Didn't know I was getting that. But I did get this, and this says, Clinton, thank you, with love, Eliza. And I'm assuming it says Dushku also. It's kind of hard to see. She has a very large signature there. I may put in a scan of this if I get an opportunity. I usually do on stuff like this. If I do, you will see that now. But yes, it looks like that. Very, very cool. Eliza Dushku is a very cool lady. I'm very supportive of all the things she does. And that concludes this random unboxing of a whole bunch of random things that I was happy to share with you guys. It was kind of like another Christmas for me because it just randomly hit in a way that I got a lot of exciting different kinds of things that hopefully you guys enjoyed looking at. I will leave it at that. I will see you guys again next time, and yeah.